Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Uh, so, thanks a lot for joining us. So,
Hello.
uh, yeah. So, uh, so we are going to discuss like one question, which is relevant is like 95% of our e-commerce D2C traffic is through mobile devices. And we have been like working with brands like Suta, Berrylush, and Adilqadri. Uh, like all three brands have done a lot of work on optimizing that mobile traffic. So we would like to hear about thoughts and the experiments the team has done, and they can share their learnings with us. So, like, over to Nikita to start with. Like, what are we doing about it?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Like rightly said by Abhijeet, that like 95% of the traffic which we see comes through mobile devices, right? And like that's one place where your TG is constantly on the move, whether they are like, at their offices browsing your website or like while traveling back home or, so I mean, optimizing the web experience, whether on our own website, like the MWeb or the app is like something which we really focus on. We have a very mobile-first strategy, and it's a part of our DNA. We have a strong, returning customer base of about more than 50%. And hence, having a proper retention marketing strategy has always been our core to our marketing initiatives. If we look at why we started with the thought of having an app was just precisely this. The thought was to optimize CAC, and like the idea was to get like as much repeat business as possible from the app by like encouraging or people to have an app, right? So the journey has been interesting. We saw like we had an app about, say, a year and a half back, but initially it was not performing very well for us, and then we like pivoted to another ad platform, and it gave us good results. We saw almost like, say, like 4 to 5x of our online website conversions better on the website, so on the app, right? Yeah, I mean, overall, your AOV is also better because it's like you're giving key retail or your real estate on your mobile device when you're installing any brand app, right? So optimizing for that makes complete sense for a brand like us.
Yeah. So, with Alok, we have like a very interesting business model. Like, initially, Berrylush was built on marketplaces, and later on, like DTC and offline. Uh, Before like launching an app, would love to understand what were the apprehensions you had, and what was the like goals you had like while exploring an app for a brand and impacting, like having an overall impact on the business.
Hey, hi everyone. So when we started, we started as a marketplace-oriented brand, and the first 6 years of our journey, it was more like product-led discovery. Like basically our products were, discovered in the algorithm and ranked higher up in the marketplaces because of multiple reasons, and that is how the customers used to discover us. Now, recently, what we have seen is that the branded searches have increased a lot, like Berrylush black dress or a Berrylush yellow party wear. Yeah. So what we have realized is that, and year on year, around 40% increase on the branded searches, right? So that is when we realized that, see, the thing is that we were able to create a brand equity over time, and this is the time when we should be having more control over our proprietary channels. And the primary reason here is that, as we are from marketplace background, we understand that it's very less control over, like what kind of engagement you can give to your customers. Through the marketplaces, you have limited opportunities, right? So when we look at our own proprietary channel, why do we do that? Is basically to build the brand. Overall, that equity that has to be increased over time, right? it can be done only when you are focusing on your proprietary channel. That is something that we decided that this is something that we need to focus on. And initially, definitely it was always a mobile first approach, like through our website, through our, like primarily to that. When we thought about app, initially the thought that came, like when we were brainstorming along with our, team members, it was simply that who will install our app? Like, why will anybody install our app, right? Like, if Myntra, Amazon, Meesho, all these, apps are there, why will an individual, brand be installed in a mobile, especially when you know that there is a limited space in your mobile, right? But that is one apprehension that we had big time, that should we do that? But then what we realized that, see, in this game of building the brand, what is really important is that how do you retain your customers? So we took a bet on that see, the app is one place where only high intent users will be installing it. We will be able to engage them in a much, much better way, give them a more personalized, user experience. And with that, we will be able to retain them further, right? So before the app, our retention rate was, like around 21, 22%. After the app, it's around 30%. Right now, we are at 30%. So I would, like these are some of the hypotheses that we had, that, like app will be, like a better way of retaining customers. And that actually worked out in that direction, right? So definitely the whole idea of retention through app, like what has worked out is basically today when you are retaining your customers, right? In that also you have to spend a lot of money, right? Like through WhatsApp, SMS, or through performance marketing. Even your existing customers you have to retarget through performance marketing, right? And these all add up to the cost. Now the only way in which you can like retarget your customers in a manner where you don't have to spend anything is through the push notification through your app, right? And that is something that eventually, if we are able to, like get more customers on the app, the cost of retention will go down, right? So that was all the idea, and we see that this is going in that direction. Right?
Yeah. Thanks, Alok. So, like very interesting, like Adilqadri is being built on an influencer-led model. I believe like Instagram would be the highest acquisition channel. So majority of the traffic would be like, I believe it's 97% is mobile-led, and you have done some interesting optimization for the mobile experience. Would love to hear about your thoughts.
Yeah, so majority of the traffic for me, 99% is from mobile. But yeah, ये अभी जनरल टर्म हो गया है कि 99% मोबाइल पे ही ट्रैफिक हर किसी का होता है, नॉट फॉर मी. ऐप की और वेबसाइट की अगर बात हम करेंगे तो माय फेवरेट टॉपिक इज़ एनीवेज वेबसाइट. वेबसाइट पे हम बहुत ज़्यादा ऑप्टिमाइज़ करते हैं, और मेरा ये मानना है कहीं ना कहीं कि आज मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द ब्रांड्स परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग कर रही होती है और ज़्यादातर मीडिया बाइंग कर रहे होते हैं. तो जो भी ट्रैफिक हम लाए हैं वेबसाइट पे, उसका हमने पैसा खर्चा किया है. मेरे माइंड में डे वन से ये होता है कि अगर मैं किसी को पैसा खर्चा करके वेबसाइट पे लाया हूँ तो उसका जर्नी स्टेप 1 से स्टेप 3 या स्टेप एंड तक क्लियर होना चाहिए, रेदर देन हम उनको ऐप इंस्टॉल करवाएंगे सारी चीज़ें. बट अगेन ऐप ऑर्डर हो जाने के बाद रिटेंशन के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट हम मानते हैं एप्लीकेशंस को. बट स्टार्टिंग में जब बंदा वेबसाइट पे आता है तो हम सोचते हैं कि नहीं अभी इसको एप्लीकेशन नहीं इंस्टॉल कराना, बाद में करेंगे. तो ये एक हो गया ऐप और वेबसाइट के ऊपर. और वेबसाइट्स पे प्रोडक्ट पेजेस पे वी कैन डू टू मच कस्टमाइजेशन एंड ऑप्टिमाइजेशन एंड एवरीथिंग विच समहाउ मोबाइल में इश्यू हो जाता है कहीं ना कहीं. तो इसलिए मैं मानता हूँ ज़्यादातर कि मोबाइल में ही ऑप्टिमाइजेशन हम लोग करते हैं ज़्यादातर.
Thanks, Adil. So Nikita, like we have been seeing Suta's growth, like starting from like 7% contribution to like 40% contribution DTC through the app. It has been an interesting journey. Like we really would love to understand like what are the insights we have. Like one is like what are the apparent insights like you have, and what are the counterintuitive insights you have when we see app versus web consumers, and how does that has increased the LTV. Like just for a GA case study, we built like app had like 7x more LTV than the web customers. But being in the midst of decision making, whether it's organic growth or a paid marketing, would love to understand your thought, like what have been your learning, which you can just share.
So yeah, our app was an interesting journey for sure. So like we had an earlier app which was like a very, it was not very customizable. It was very, say, standard, right? Everybody's app looked almost the same, and it was not, we were not able to replicate our brand identity on our app, right? And hence, like it was, the growth of our app was also limited. We were not able to have key integrations in place, simple things like loyalty, reviews, and your customized features which were part of our web offering we were not able to replicate on that app. That is when we transitioned to another app, and we were focused on like a cost-effective platform which like helped us go to market quick and help us with all those customizations which we're looking for. And that really helped in the journey. I mean, we were able to replicate our brand identity better on our app this time, and we organically saw our contribution from our app grow from, say, almost like 10% to 30-40% in like about 3 months. And our and the number of app installs also, like we were able to scale it to 50,000 within 3 months. So, and rightly said, app users are your high intent users, and we already have a strong loyal base of customers. So we incentivize users first time to install apps with the app, by giving a first purchase discount on the app. So that also helped in getting organic installs. And apart from that, we try to do a lot of app-only events, like app-exclusive launches or app-specific events. That also helped us kind of grow our app traffic. And apart from that, we use our social media handles quite effectively when it comes to driving awareness about our app, and also whether it's retention, emailers or whatever, everywhere, we try and put the links for our app. So people try, and even in say our WhatsApp messages, we put out the message that, okay, this is an app which is available, you can download. And the experience, in my opinion, is more seamless on the app compared to the MWeb, especially when I see the load speed. It's much faster, and the experience is much more seamless on the app. So obviously, the time which your customer is spending on your app is higher. And I mean, since these are high intent users, obviously your AOVs are higher. And also, the conversion rate which we have seen is almost like 4x of our web. So that itself has been a success story. Apart from that, we've been able to build out features which we were not able to build out earlier, right? We offer a pre-drape feature on our website, wherein any sari, if somebody wants to pre-drape it, so we have an option. Anyone wants to get it pre-stitched, so we take the dimensions, and we are able to do that, and we were able to replicate replicate that on our app as well. So yeah, I think that is something which has helped us scale our app journey as well.
Yeah, so this is an interesting insight. Alok, while you're building your omni-channel, now we have a lot of stores, how do you want to leverage your app to bridge that omni-channel experience, and where do you see that app fits in bringing your journey? Yeah, go ahead.
So see, basically when we look at all the channels, right, these are multi-channel approach that we have, or you can say omni-channel approach. People discover us maybe through Myntra and end up buying from the store, or people discover in the store, then end up buying in our own website, right? So it's about the omni-channel experience that we are trying to create everywhere, right? Now, when we come to the app, there are a lot of things where we have envisioned that how we can use the app. So for example, when somebody goes to the store, right? Now, store always has a limited capacity or the limited space. It's not an endless aisle, right? So for example, in our case, around 3,200 products are there in Berrylush right now, which is live, right? But in a store of 1,000 square feet, hardly 200 styles can be showcased, right? So when we look at the app, if somebody likes a particular product in the store and they try it out and they, like say, want a different color of that, and it's not available in the, store, what they can do is like scan through their app, look at that availability in the app, and buy it from there, and it gets either delivered in the store or in the home, whatever they desire, right? So this is the kind of thing which bigger brands always had, access to, and but right now with the kind of, like with Shopify and Appbrew and all the kinds of SaaS-based apps which are there, we can provide the same level of, customer experience that at one point of time it was only accessible by the bigger and larger brands, right? And today we believe that we are able to do that. There are, like other things too, like today the customers are so much exposed to high quality user experience, right? Like they are exposed to not only e-commerce websites like Amazon or a Myntra, right? But also Instagram, Facebook, right? The kind of seamless UX that they have built, they expect the same thing everywhere, right? So even today, as a small bootstrapped brand like Berrylush, we are able to, get an app in place with the highest level of experience. And even most of the queries that our customers have, right? It's related to where is my order? Where can I, where is it right now? When will I get it, right? These are the things that in the app they can easily track, and which is at par with, a channel like Amazon, right? So this is something that I believe, we are able to do today.
Yeah. So thanks.